Omentum. Greater omentum, is attached to the bottom curvature, lesser curvature of the stomach, or greater curvature of the stomach, and the
Looks like
smell's
dough.
getting to me. But it goes down and covers up the peritoneal cavity. But that's the greater omentum. If I wanted to ask that, I could just have it pulled to the side, or have 4 cats. I could just keep it intact and then ask other stuff up here. So it looks different on each cat. So it depends on the diet. So that is the greater omentum. On like the larynx. I wouldn't use this as my throat is going, but you can see the epiglottis, but I wouldn't do it on one that's in the cat most likely. But you can see the epiglottis, and then the front wall, I wouldn't have larynx as an answer. Thyroid cartilage. You don't want to say larynx as the answer. And then I typically don't do thyroid cartilage, cricoid cartilage, but you can kind of feel it. I just feel like people be asking too much what I'm asking, even though I have it listed. Remember, cricoid's how you connect to the trachea. But if I have it here, you do not say larynx. You say thyroid cartilage. If I have it stuck in something here, epiglottis. And then trachea, and some of them will have the fat trimmed off a little bit already. You can see the rings easier. And then the larynx, or the esophagus, is behind. So on this, you can see the 2 openings. The esophagus behind of the trachea, but if this is in on another cat, if I'm stuck behind it, esophagus. You can see the rings, trachea, thyroid cartilage. There you can see the epiglottis. So I could even use this cat and just have it laying in there like that. Lungs surround the heart. Pretty easy. Lungs surround the heart. On the heart, I would more likely want pericardium. That's why I say don't take the heart out, because I like having the sac intact, and so I can stick a pin in sideways, for the pericardium going around the heart. Because almost everything, I don't really do the second column. I don't do the second column. Everything except for cricoid cartilage gets asked, like everything, and then except instead of heart, pericardium, diaphragm. They have theirs intact pretty good. So diaphragm is sitting on top of the liver, but it's the respiratory muscle. And then liver, pretty obvious. And then I like this gallbladder on this cat because it's green. Most times they're green. They're not, the one back there wasn't green. But you can see the gallbladder in the liver. Let's see, spleen will be different sized on different cats. Like you can confuse the spleen on our torso model, but you definitely can't confuse the spleen with anything else on the cat. And it's often like pretty darn big. So that's spleen. Let's see, kidneys are obvious. I haven't. So kidney. And what's this?
Ureter.
Ureter. Going down to the bladder. Right there's the bladder. Oh boy. Okay, so I hate doing that on video. So we just did kidney, bladder. I've jumped out of order here. Spleen, kidney. Pancreas is one people struggle with sometimes. So I don't necessarily like the pancreas on this guy so much. Here we go. See that right there?
Oh, yeah.
Pancreas, and just like how it's like lobular on the model, it's kind of like lobular looking on this. And notice how I was looking, this is the stomach. So of course the pancreas is behind the stomach just like in us, and it's going to the first part of the small intestine. Pancreas. Stomach I just did. And then, so now we see where the stomach goes into the small intestine, because small intestine won't necessarily be an answer. It'll be duodenum. And see how that's the end of the stomach. This right here, you can still see some of the pancreas like going to it. That's duodenum. So the first part of the small intestine, duodenum. So I wouldn't be putting small intestine as an answer. And then, so I wouldn't just put it in like jejunum ileum stuff. Then we get over here, and we get to the large intestine, and most of what we see for the large intestine, just like in us, is colon. So I'd accept either large intestine or colon. like just like in us, but it's like more of a straight pipe in the cat than it is in us. Bladder, I just did. Let's see, ureter, we did. And then urethra is not really teased out. Like urethra is one that I might not, I won't ask. Like urethra is one I wouldn't, but if you wanted to like try to find the urethra, it's probably maybe easier in a female. But urethra likely won't be asked. So we've just gone through like that whole column. So now you want to like try to like identify the stuff on your cat because there will be 3 cats, at least 3 cats on the test. But I'll be asking